Esfahan, the city that Iranians refer to as half of the world. If you ever visit Iran, this is going to be your first stopover, where you will be spending at least a couple of days. This is the place where the famous Iranologist Arthur Pope spent years to complete his surveys, specifically studying Persian art, listing over 190 crafts only in Isfahan. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization has recently named Isfahan as a creative city in terms of crafts and folk art. It's no wonder Iranians call it half of the world.
نکته مهم که در اصفهان می‌بینیم و شاهد اون هستیم اینه که مثل خیلی از کشورهای جهانی یا حتی شهرهای خود کشورمون به هنر به چشم یک امر فانتزی نگاه نمی‌کنن. یک کار تفننی نیست. شما وقتی که توی بازار ما برید به نظر من شما آدمای کاسب رو نمی‌بینید. یه سری عاشق می‌بینید، کسی که ماه‌ها روی یک بشقاب کار می‌کنه برای یک مبلغ بسیار ناچیزی.
Now, something that really impressed Arthur Pope when he was visiting Esfahan is this. It's called minakari, and we're going to find out more about it. Minakari, or enamel work, is basically the art of ornamenting the surface of a metal by fusing brilliant colors over it. The paintings or patterns are traditional designs depending on the taste and preferences of the artist. Gold has been used traditionally, but these days silver and copper are more common.
این هنر با توجه به اینکه پوپ آمریکایی در کتابی که در این خصوص نوشته برمیگرده به 1400 الی 1500 سال قبل از میلاد مسیح و پوپ معتقد است که این هنر متعلق به ایرانیا بوده.
Minakari is all about precision, but the process is not too complicated. First, a metal object made of copper, silver, or brass is covered with a white glaze and heated at 750 degrees Celsius to create the base. Now here's where the craftsman's creativity comes in. When he's done, the enamel plates are sent back to the furnace. Isfahan is nicknamed the land of turquoise domes. However, after coming to this small shop in the middle of the traditional bazaar, I think that it should be nicknamed the land of turquoise dishes. For thousands of years, these blue stones have been valued in Iran and used in various forms by Iranian artists, especially to decorate different objects. But today, it is these turquoise inlaid dishes that are catching the eyes of tourists who are looking for something extraordinary to take home as a souvenir.
حالا فیروز کوبی هم یه سری فوتوفنایی داره که همه هم خب فوتوفناشو نمیدونن. ما الان 20 مدل سنگ کار کردیم که خب اکثری بچه‌ها یه مدلشو میدونن، دو مدلشو میدونن. یه مدل فیروز کوبی ما داریم که الان من نمونه‌اشو دارم مال 400 سال پیشه. اما سنگ تراش می‌خورده به صورت گوله گوله رو کار کوبیده می‌شده. این سبک حدود 80 ساله.
As you walk through the long corridors of the traditional bazaar, the omnipresent sound of pecking on metal will without a doubt lead you to one of these small shops where you can find works of qalamzani, or Persian-style metal engraving, a unique art that Isfahan is famous for.
8000 سال پیش تقریبا اولین فلز کشف که مصر و بعد آلیاژهای دیگه به دست اومد. یا آلیاژی که بایستی به دست اومده باشه که یکم سخت‌تر باشه که بتونن توسط اون روی فلز مس به اصطلاح حک بکنن و تقریبا آخرین آثاری که به دست اومده 5500 سال پیش.
Qalamzani is used to decorate copper plates, trays, vases, and of course silverware. The painstaking process of creating each and every piece involves craftsmanship, skill, talent, and patience. The craftsman uses numerous tools to emboss and engrave the most detailed and complex of designs. This may include plants and flowers and animals, and people hunting or playing a polo game, reminiscent of the polo matches that used to be played right here in Esfahan. Well, this does not seem easy at all, but I'm going to try it anyways. And then there's same for you.
سابقا آقایون توی این رشته بودن و کسب درآمد میکردن. بعدش خانوما این رشته رو ادامه دادن و منم خودم یکی از اولین کارآموزای استاد هستم.
Give me camel bones, some wood, and metal stripes, and I give you the beautiful art of khatam kari. Khatam is Iran's most exquisite wooden handicraft. It is actually the Persian version of marquetry, which includes micro inlays made of wood, metal, and bones. Each cubic centimeter of khatam is made up of nearly 250 different pieces. The quality of khatam is determined by the finesse and symmetry of the patterns, which is highly dependent on the skill and expertise of the craftsman.
ابتداً میاد با این مقطع گلی که ما می‌خوایم بپیچیم از ریز پیچی شروع می‌کنیم. همین کار رو ادامه میدن تا اون گلی که مد نظرشون است شکل بگیره. از اینکه گل خاتم شکل گیره میام اینا رو باز مثلا 9 تا از اینا کنار هم قرار میدیم. ما اینا رو به وسیله ارای مخصوص برش عرض میدیم. این خاتم الان آماده برای نصب کردن بر روی زیر ساخت. زیر ساختمون باید چوب باشه.
This art flourished in Isfahan in the Safavid era. Khatam was initially used to adorn mosques and holy places, doors and furniture, but today it is mostly applied on mirror frames, Quran boxes, vases, and even pens and pen boxes. Therefore, quite accessible to be considered as a fine piece of art to remember Iran by. Probably one of the most interesting objects that is usually decorated with khatam kari is qalamdan, which literally means pen box. I'm specifically emphasizing on it because these small wooden boxes were once commonly used by calligraphers, writers, and of course students before modern stationery was introduced. Basically, the pen box itself is considered a valuable heritage, closely linked to Iranian culture. There was a time when artisans specialized in making the perfect pen boxes. Today, with the same traditional design, it is still among the most sought-after items in the traditional bazaar.
قلمدون از تمام خاتم هست. قلمدونی که روش با مینیاتور، نگارگری، گل و مرغ و شکار، سوار، تصهیب یا اسلیمی اینا تزیین شده. این مدلش هم هست. حالا جنساش از جنس مینا هست که مینا خیلی کمه، بیشتریش خاتمه، یعنی زیر ساخت چوب داره و روش هم خاتم کاشه. دیگه جنس دیگه که هست پاپیه ماشه هست و چوبیه خیلی ساده هم هست که خود خوشنویسا استفاده میکنن. حالا قلمدون میتونه درش از رو باز بشه، میتونه کشویی باشه، دیگه مدل‌های مختلف داره.
Abundant in the most amazing craftwork you could ever find, Isfahan's traditional bazaar introduces you to a new world. With over 18,000 craftsmen, the city produces 196 different kinds of handicraft. It seems that the saying, Isfahan is half of the world, is not so boastful after all, but rather quite a well-deserved description. Well, obviously, the time that we had in this report is not enough to tell you everything about a city that is nicknamed half of the world, but at least I found something that I'm taking back as a souvenir. Gisumi Shah Ahmadi for Iran.